Shalom, shalom. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahushai, Ba'ashim Rakakwadash. And double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well through the Spirit. And the mighty shalom to the hopeful elect in the same Spirit. Lord willing that you all continue in sound doctrine. Shalom to the Akwath, the sisters of this faith. Lord willing you continue to pursue your lot, which is being a loving and silent and virtuous wife. And Lord willing, Yahweh Shem Shai has mercy on the other brothers and sisters that's not in the faith. Today we're going to go into 1 John, the 4th chapter, verse 6. Lord willing, it's edifying and straight to the point. Let's get into it. 1 John chapter 4, verse 5 and 6. They are of the world, therefore speak they of the world. And the world heareth them. We are of the Most High. He that knoweth the Most High heareth us. And he that is not of the Most High heareth not us. Hereby know we the spirit of truth and the spirit of error. Right? So, when we get into, right, the spirit of truth versus the spirit of error, the point that you see in this verse where it says, we are of God, or we are of the Most High. John is speaking as an apostle of Yahweh Shai, representing those who have been entrusted with the 100% truth, with the doctrine of Yahweh Shem Shai, where it says, we are of the Most High, or we are of God, means the men of Yahweh Shem Shai who have been called, chosen, and set up to declare his word. Let's go, actually, just so we can have that and keep that there. Let's go to St. John, the 15th chapter, and read verse 16. And this is what it reads. It says, He have not chosen me. Salaki, ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you and ordained you, that ye should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain, that whatsoever ye shall ask of the Father in my name, he may give it. Right? And Yahushua is making it plain that we have not chosen him when he was speaking to the disciples, but he have chosen disciples. You know, he called them by name. And through the Spirit, the Lord have chosen the men of the Lord that came back in this lot in this time to teach his word all the way from Abba Bibbins all the way now. Those that actually come into sound doctrine and those that are in sound doctrine, the Yahushua have chosen you. You did not choose him. And he ordained you that you should go and bring forth fruit. That's what the seed is. The seed that you plant in the dirt, and those that water it, those are the fruit. But if Yahweh makes it grow, that's the fruit that you have brought unto Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, and that your fruit should remain, right? And those fruit is really the elect, right? That whatsoever ye shall ask of the Father in my name, and his name is Yahushai, the Heavenly Father is going to give it. Let's get another one just to show. Let's get Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 5. But let's start at verse 3. It says, and it came also in the day of Jehoiakim, the son of Josiah, the king of Judah, unto the end of the 11th year of Zedekiah, the son of Josiah, king of Judah, unto the carrying away of Jerusalem, captive, in the 5th month. Then the word of Yahweh Shemashai came unto me, saying, before I formed thee in the belly I knew thee, and before thou camest forth out of the womb I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. Then I said, Lord, power? Behold, I cannot speak, for I am a child. But the Lord said unto me, say not, I am a child, for thou shalt go to all that I shall send thee, and whatsoever I command thee, thou shalt speak. Right? The Lord is telling Jeremiah that he formed him from the belly, man. That he basically pointed him to be a prophet before he was even in the womb. Right? Right? And so even the prophets that's here today, the Lord called you, man. He set you up in this thing. Right? It doesn't matter who he is. Right? From the apostles, right? From the other prophets to the evangelists, the teachers, any brother that comes in sound doctrine of Yahweh Shem Shai, he brought them in this truth, man. Right? So now, let's go back to the point. So only the elect will be drawn to this truth, because the Most High is the one who gives hearing and understanding. Let's go to St. John, the 10th chapter, and verse 27. It says, my sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. Right? This shows that only those who are predestined as Yahushua sheep will truly hear and follow the prophets and apostles, because the prophets and apostles are the voice, right? Of course, we know it's Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and his voice is the scriptures, the Bible, but who's bringing forth? Who is preaching it? Who's pushing forth his gospel? The apostles and the prophets. So the apostles and prophets are the voice of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. So going back to 1 John 4, when it says, Salaki, when it says, he that knoweth the Most High heareth us. The Israelites who are of the elect will recognize the voice of the shepherd through the prophets and the teachers, right? Romans, the 10th chapter. How are you going to understand or know about Yahweh Shem Shai unless somebody tell you, unless somebody preach the word unto you, right? So again, the Israelites who are the elect will recognize the voice of the shepherd through the prophets and the teachers. And where it says, heareth us, or hear, to hear is not just listening, but obeying and applying the words in faith, right? Because any lesson that you hear, it doesn't matter what the lesson is going into, as a man and as a woman, you should be applying it within you, because that's what the elect would do. What would the elect do? Apply. Okay, let's go back to the other app. Let's go to St. John, the 8th chapter, in verse 27. It says, verse 27 is the point, but let me start at 25. It says, then said they unto him, who art thou? And Yahushua saith unto them, even the same that I said unto you from the beginning. I have many things to say and to judge of you, but he that sent me is true, and I speak to the world those things which I have heard of him. They understood not that he spake to them of the Father, right? The point is really down here in verse 47, Salaki family. This is the point that we want to get to. But the whole chapter, if you read the whole chapter, you know, it will actually make a lot of sense, right? But let's get it. So verse 44, the point is 47. Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and a father of it. And because I tell you the truth, ye believe me not. Now remember, St. John 10, the sheep shall hear my voice, right? And physically, Yahushua was there. So if they were truly of the sheep, they would have understood it. They would have heard his voice. They would have knew that this was the truth. Which of you convinceth me of sin? And if I say the truth, why do ye not believe me? He that is of the Most High heareth the Most High's word. Back into 1 John 4. Ye therefore hear them not, because ye are not of the Most High. So what does that mean? They have the spirit of error. Back to 1 John 4 and 5, it says, they are of the world, therefore speak they of the world, and the world heareth them. We are of the Most High. He that heareth the Most High heareth us. He that is not of the Most High heareth not us. Hereby know we the spirit of truth and the spirit of error, right? Those that hear us, right, they heareth the Most High. If they don't hear the prophets, the teachers of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, right, they are in the spirit of error, right? Let's get Amos, the 3rd chapter. This is Amos chapter 3 and verse 7. Surely Yahweh Shem Yahushai power will do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto his servants, the prophets, right? And these secrets are mysteries, right? And these mysteries are taught daily, 4 corners of the earth, and it's really pushed through the unicorn, which is the internet, the satellite, pushed 4 corners of the earth, right? Go right on YouTube, watch videos, right? Oh, or wherever city you at, you see the men on the highways and byways bringing forth sound doctrine. They have the secrets, They have the secrets. So if someone rejects the doctrine of the prophets, it proves that they are not of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, because we cannot teach a doctrine of our own. This doctrine is of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So when you go back to 1 John chapter 4, we're going to deal with the point of, where is it? He that is not of the Most High heareth not us, right? He that is not of the Most High heareth not us. So the 2/3 of Israel, the 2/3 of Yasharallah and the heathens will never accept the pure truth. They may hear the sound of the words, but the understanding is blocked, right? I want to get a side precept in 2 Thessalonians, especially for the Israelites, right? Because first this is given to the Israelites. When you go to 2 Thessalonians 2, verse 10 to 12, it says, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved, right? So Jake, the 2/3, they don't receive the love of truth. And through Yahweh, right? It was in a heart that they Salaki, that I'm getting excited, that they will not have the love of truth. For this cause the Most High shall send them strong delusions that they should believe a lie. And it's people that set up with that lie, that they all might be damned to believe not the truth, but have pleasure in unrighteousness, right? And as many men, women, and even children that shall be damned, right? Because they don't believe in the truth, man. They don't believe in the truth. Why? Because it was blocked unto them. If it's predestined for the elect to get it, it's predestined for the non-elect to not get it, right? And let's get the classic in Romans, the 11th chapter. Romans chapter 11, and we just go straight to the point, verse 7 and 8. It says, what then? Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election, which is the selection, have obtained it, and the rest were blinded, right? The rest of Israel, right, which accumulate 66.6% of the whole nation, right, especially on this side, they were blinded. According as it is written, the Most High have given them the spirit of slumber, right, the spirit of error, right? They're spiritually, dead, right? Walking in the midst, right, of this world, right? They're sleepwalking. Eyes that they should not see and ears that they should not hear unto this day. The Lord has closed in their ears, right, and made them blind so that they won't be able to see or hear, right? That's a real form of being spiritually handicapped, where you can't see or hear, right, the wisdom, knowledge, understanding of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. This is why the wicked scoff and they mock and they walk away when the truth is brought out, man. This is why. Now you understand when you see somebody scoffing, when you see somebody mocking, the truth coming out, they hearing it, and then they just walk away, right? It's not becoming attached unto them. So now let's go back, and this is the last point for this verse, where it says, hereby know we the spirit of truth and the spirit of error, right? Salaki, right? Hereby know we the spirit of truth and the spirit of error, right? The spirit of truth is Yahweh Shai himself. How? Let's actually get that, right? We understand the spirit of truth. What's the spirit of truth? St. John 14:6, Yahweh Shai saith unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. Yahweh Shai is the truth. He is the doctrine, right? Dropping down to verse 17, it says, even the spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive. See, that lines back up with 1 John 4:5 and 6, right? Those that are of the world, they are in the spirit of error. They can never receive this. Even the spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive, because it seeth him not, neither knoweth him. But ye know him, for he dwelleth with you and shall be in you, right? And this is all in the spirit, right? Because if you abide in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, he abides in you. Fully, he's going to be in us when we get that glorified body. But in the spirit, he's dwelling with you when you get the Rakak Wadash. The men of the Lord have a different level, because it's men that are actually chosen to teach this word. And then you have certain women that's of the elect that the Lord is allowing to believe now, right? But if you truly believe, even as a man of the Lord, we supposed to be growing and changing because we have the spirit of truth and they have the spirit of air. So every day you're supposed to be moving different, a different flow, right? So the understanding of the scriptures, the Rakah Quadash guiding the elect, right? Let's actually prove that. Verse 26, it says, but the comforter, which is the Rakah Quadash, whom the Father will send in my name, which is Yahweh Shai, he shall teach you all things and bring all things to your remembrance, whatsoever I have said unto you. Right? The Spirit is bringing all things into our remembrance and guiding us from chapter to chapter, from precept to precept, right? From line upon line, from here to there, old to apocrypha to new to apocrypha, right? 5 verses straight down, 3 verses straight down, and then you jump in there, right? The Spirit is drawing you to get that understanding, depending if it's speaking about the MOTB or Jacob's trouble or salvation or the 2/3 coming back into the kingdom, or if it's dealing with 1 John 4 verse 6. And this is what this whole lesson is about: the spirit of truth versus the spirit of error, man. Right? So the spirit of error, it goes into false doctrine, philosophies of the world, and deceiving spirits sent to those Yahweh doesn't want to save. So if you can't get it, you gotta, especially if you in this truth and you walk away, or if you're not striving to get it, right? You lessons that somebody was dealing with, problems you dealing with, emotions and feelings, and you're not striving to master it, even though you deal with it, but you're not striving to master it, right? Guess what? You might be a person the Lord don't want to save. You might be a person the Lord don't even want you to get it or understand. You in a chain of darkness that every time that you try, right, it's going to be days where you get it and then you slip. But if you constantly going off, or constantly fucking up, or constantly in your emotions and feelings where it erupts your house, or it erupts you, or it erupts your relationship with another brother or another sister, right? The Lord, hey, you might not be a person that's going to get it. You might not be a person that might change. You might be like a woman or a man like Lot's wife, who's walking beside in that moment, but when all hell break loose, you're going to be revealed that the Lord is not freaking dealing with you, and you'll get removed, right? So let's go back to what we already brought out in 2 Thessalonians. Got to bring it out again. Verse 10 and 11. It says, with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish. That's those that have the spirit of error, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved, right? You have to receive the love of the truth. Your delight in hearing the word, even when the word is not coming out, and you're seeking the understanding, you're seeking the teaching, right? That's somebody that loves this truth, right? And for this cause, the Most High shall send them strong delusions that they should believe a lie, right? I don't want to be a part of that, right? Lord willing, from the prayers that we, pray for the elect, Lord willing, you're not a part of that. You're not a product of that. This Isaiah 8 and 20, it says, to the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. In the NLT, it says, if they contradict the word, it's because they are in darkness, right? So every day you want to believe, right? Something you don't understand, you should be seeking that understanding, right? Instead of getting your own understanding. Proverbs, the 3rd chapter, I believe 5 and 6. You don't want to lean to your own understanding. So going back to this verse, 1 John chapter 4, and I'm going to start at 5. They are of the world, those that are the spirit of error. Therefore speak they of the world, and the world heareth them. We are of the Most High. He that knoweth the Most High heareth us. He that is not of the Most High heareth not us. Hereby know we the spirit of truth and the spirit of error. Right? So going into 1 John 4 and 6, this is showing us the separation between the elect and the world. The elect hear and follow the prophets because they are of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. The rest cannot receive it because they are in the spirit of error. Right? This is why when you go to this verse right here, 2 Corinthians, again excited. 2 Corinthians chapter 13 in verse 5. Examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves, how that Yahushua and Mashiach is in you, except ye be reprobates, right? Every day you should be examining yourself. In the NLT, examine yourselves to see if your faith is genuine. Test yourselves. Surely you know that Yahushua and Mashiach is among you. If not, you have failed the test of genuine faith, right? Yahushua is among you. But if he's not, then you failed the test, man. But really, you should be examining yourself. You should truly be testing yourself if you have that genuine faith, right? Right? You should really be seeing if you have genuine faith, right? Let me, I want to put this so I can see if it's going to let me look up the word, right? What is genuine? Genuine is authentic, real, actual, original, right? Let me go back. Genuine is truly what something is said to be, authentic, of a person, emotion, or action, sincere. So are you sincere? Do you have that sincere faith, right? And if you have that sincere faith, you should be showing it. If you have that sincere faith, you should be growing it. So this scripture is also a measuring stick. When someone rejects the true doctrine, we know they are not of the Most High. When someone cleaves to the truth, it proves the spirit of truth is working in them, right? Especially when you have a doctrine, like sometimes, like, especially if I don't know something, if I don't have the full breakdown, do I find myself writing it down so that I can have it in my notebook, so that when it comes to time to me go reading over my notes, studying precepts, so that those things can sink in, I'm going to write it down and I'm going to be able to read it. That's a beautiful thing with having a notebook. That's a beautiful thing when you actually take this thing serious. Now, it is sometimes where I might not be able, I might not even make the time to study my notes. But the more excited I am is verses that I bring out that was in my notebook that I couldn't remember in my head. But the more I bring them out, the more I'm thinking of it, the more it already naturally sinks in, you know? But some of y'all, if it's not sinking in, right, you should be reading your notes. And if you're not reading your notes, why are you taking notes? You know? Or if you don't have the plan, like, you know what, if I ever get stuck, if it comes a moment where I forget something, but I know I got it written, I'm through the spirit, I go and get one of my notebooks wherever I'm going in, especially if it's a prophecy breakdown and I want to make sure my precepts on point. I go to my notebook and I get these precepts that I wrote down, and then I feel like, wow, I'm thankful that I wrote this down. And even with that lesson, sometimes I did it 3 times. Some of those precepts or some of the words that said is already in my membrane. So when I'm bringing them out, I'm able to either quote a verse or I'm able to go to the verse that's already in my mind, or go to some history website to give that understanding on that point. You know, every last one of us want to be moved in the spirit of truth, but not in the spirit of error, right? So Lord willing, is edifying, right? Straight to the point. Lord willing, you got to learn something and you get to meditate on yourself. Do you want to be of the spirit of truth or the spirit of error? All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKakwadash, Brakati Yahweh, Brakati Yahushai. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well through the Spirit. And a mighty shalom to the hopeful elect in the same Spirit. Lord willing, as a whole, that y'all continue in sound doctrine and in the same Spirit. Shalom to the Aqua, believers of His faith and His truth. Lord willing, that you continue to pursue your lot, which is being a loving and silent and virtuous wife. And Lord willing, Yahweh Shem Shai has mercy on the other brothers and sisters that's not in the faith. With that, shalom, shalom, abab, abab.